welcome to the Ohio County Public Library Storytime Online. My name is Miss Jennifer, and we've been talking about community helpers this month. Last week we had a visit from a mail carrier from the Hartford Post Office. Do you remember the sign for mail carrier? Remember we take our thumb like we were putting a stamp, and then carrier, so mail carrier. Mail carriers work at the post office, and we have quite a few post offices in our county. But right now, we're in front of the Ohio County Hospital. Have you ever been to a hospital? A hospital is a place where you go when you're either sick or injured. Doctors and nurses can work at a hospital, but sometimes they work in a doctor's office. I bet you've been to a doctor's office before. Today, we're going to be meeting a nurse practitioner that works in our community, Mrs. Vanessa Price. I'm here today with Vanessa Price, and Vanessa Price is an RPN?
An APRN.
An APRN. Tell me what that is.
That is a nurse practitioner. And basically what I do is I take care of people's health and wellness.
All right. Well, we've been learning about community helpers, and this week, since we're kind of learning about doctors and nurses, I wanted to teach you all the sign language for a doctor, okay? So in order to do the sign for doctor, you're going to have your arm up so that your wrist is showing. This is where a doctor would take your pulse. So we're going to kind of touch it 2 times. So doctor, that's the sign for doctor. So we've been learning a lot of sign language. So that's the sign for doctor. So Ms. Price is going to begin by reading us a story by one of my favorite authors, Rosemary Wells. And you might know Rosemary Wells from writing the Max and Ruby stories, but she's also written this book. And can you tell us what is the title for
This
that?
book is Felix Feels Better.
All right.
So Felix Feels Better by Rosemary Wells. At bedtime, Felix ate too many chocolate blimpies and stayed up way too late. In the morning, Felix's mama made pancakes. No, please, said Felix. You look peaky, Felix, said Felix's mom. Do you feel better? I missed a page.
Yeah.
Let's get you toasty and warm, she said. Then Felix's mama made Felix a cup of chamomile tea. Do you feel better yet? Asked Felix's mama. No, said Felix. So mama gave him some sugared prunes. You'll feel perkier with the prunes, she said. Not feeling perkier, said Felix. Fresh air will give you a boost, said Felix's mama. She bundled Felix up and put him outside on his motorcycle. Felix's mama listened at the window. Felix was not making his motorcycle noises. Something's wrong with my Felix, she said. So Felix's mama called the doctor. Bring him right over, said Dr. Duck. Don't be afraid, my little moonbeam, said Felix's mama. But Felix was afraid. Felix was afraid the doctor would ask his mama to leave the room. But Dr. Duck did not ask Felix's mama to leave the room. Dr. Duck let Felix's mama stay with him the whole time. Dr. Duck listened to Felix's heart. Dr. Duck looked in Felix's ears and took his temperature. Then he gave Felix 2 spoonfuls of happy tummy and said, "Call me in the morning." Felix slept all the way home. He didn't wake up until he smelled buttered toast and lemon tea. Tomorrow, let's go to the circus and the movies and the fun house, said Felix. How about a picnic in the canoe? Asked Felix's mama. We'll do it all, said Felix.
He was feeling much better now,
Much better.
wasn't he? Going to a doctor can help us to feel much, much better. Now, we're kind of doing something really different today for story time. We're wearing something that we normally don't wear.
That's right. Sometimes we have to protect each other and protect ourselves from germs. So right now, you'll see a lot of people wearing masks. We have to wear a mask today, Miss Jennifer, because we're not 6 feet apart. And if I were to cough or sneeze, I could get you sick.
I know. So I really appreciate that we're taking these precautions with one another, because it shows that we care about one another.
That's
And we don't want people to get sick. But sometimes when you do, you want to call the doctor. I have a fun story that I'm going to share with you. It's one of my favorites. It's kind of a silly song that I loved to do with my kids and with my grandson. And it goes like this. You might not have heard this story. It goes, Miss Lucy had a baby. His name was Tiny Tim. She put him in the bathtub to see if he could swim. He drank up all the water. He ate up all the soap. He tried to eat the bathtub, but it wouldn't go down his throat. So Miss Lucy called the doctor. Miss Lucy called the nurse. Miss Lucy called the lady with the alligator purse. In came the doctor. In came the nurse. In came the lady with the alligator purse. Mumps, said the doctor. Measles, said the nurse. Nonsense, said the lady with the alligator purse. Penicillin, said the doctor. Castor oil, said the nurse. Pizza, said the lady with the alligator purse. So out went the doctor, out went the nurse, and out went the lady with the alligator purse. Isn't that a silly song?
That's a fun song.
It is so much fun, and I know my kids loved that. That would be wonderful if all medicine tasted like pizza. Wouldn't that just
Absolutely.
be so wonderful?
Some of it tastes like bubble gum.
It does now, doesn't it? Isn't that nice? Well, I have one more song that I'd love to share with you, and this is one that you probably have heard before, and I hope that you, whoops, there goes my mama monkey. There we go. Oh, my monkeys are not wanting to stick. There they go. All right. Do you know the story of the 5 little monkeys, or the song about the 5 little monkeys?
I think
Who were
they were jumping on
a
a bed.
bed. If I can get them, they are not wanting to stick to my flannel board. Let's see if we can get them. There we go. All right. Let's see if we can get 5 monkeys on there. 5 little monkeys jumping on the bed. One fell off and bumped his head. His mama called the doctor, and the doctor said,
No more monkeys jumping on the bed.
all right. Now how many monkeys do we have? 5. Take away 1 is 4. So 4 little monkeys jumping on the bed. One fell off and bumped his head. His mama called the doctor, and the doctor said,
No more monkeys jumping on the bed.
right, how many? 3. 3 little monkeys jumping on the bed. One fell off and bumped his head. His mama called the doctor, and the doctor said,
No more monkeys jumping on the bed.
2 little monkeys jumping on the bed. One fell off and bumped his head. His mama called the doctor, and the doctor said,
No more monkeys jumping on the bed.
1 little monkey jumping on the bed. He fell off and bumped his head. His mama called the doctor, and the doctor said,
No more monkeys jumping on the bed.
Sometimes if we get injured, we especially need the help of our doctors and nurses. So I wanted to ask you some questions
Absolutely.
about the work that you do. How long have you been an APRN?
I have been a nurse practitioner for almost 14 years.
For 14 years. That's a very long time. Is that something that maybe you thought about doing when you were a little child?
You know, actually, it was not. It was just as I got older and I started being interested in helping other people that I decided maybe this was what I should do.
I think someone who does this job absolutely needs to be someone who cares about others, because that's what it's all about. It's about taking
Absolutely.
care of other people when they are most in need, when they're feeling sick or when they're injured. How important are doctors and nurses in our community?
Doctors and nurses, not only do we take care of people that are sick or injured, but we actually also take care of well people and try to teach them things to do in order to keep from getting sick. Just like our masks, or washing our hands, or taking our medicine that we may need to for maybe if we have some blood pressure that's not quite where it needs to be. So we try to do some things to help people stay well, in addition to taking care of people that are sick.
Well, what are some of the tools that you use in order to do that? Maybe to doing checkups or things like that to find out if someone is sick?
Well, if you remember in our book about Felix, they talked about the doctor listened to his heart.
Oh, yeah.
We use a stethoscope. That's what we use a stethoscope for. This goes in our ears, and acts almost kind of like a microphone. It makes the sounds louder so that I can hear them. I can listen to your heart. I can listen to your tummy. And see if I hear anything that's wrong there.
Yeah, sometimes they'll have you like take a deep breath, so you can probably even hear in our lungs.
In your lungs, that's correct. Yeah. We hear the air moving in your lungs. The other thing it said, he looked in Felix's ears, and we use this. This is called an otoscope, and we look in people's ears with this otoscope. It has a light, and it lets me see into that tiny little space in your ear.
Oh wow, that's really neat. Sometimes, I know like in the story with Felix, we've referenced that story several times. He was kind of afraid about going to the doctor. Sometimes people are afraid about going to the doctor.
Sometimes people are afraid, but a lot of times it's the things that we just don't understand or we don't know that are the most frightening. But what you have to keep in mind is we're here to help you and not hurt you.
Yeah, I know. So it is really important. I know a lot of times we get afraid because we're afraid that we're going to get a shot. But even getting shots is a really important part of staying healthy, like you said.
That's right. It helps us to avoid getting some of those really bad things that can make us really, really sick. And we don't ever give a shot to be mean.
Right.
We give a shot to help you.
Right. Well, I thank you so much for sharing with us. Now, you have maybe a favorite book that you would like to share with us?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
This was one of my children's favorite stories growing up, and it's called Puppies for Sale. Do you want me to?
Sure.
It's Puppies for Sale by Dan Clark.
So that's the author's name.
Couldn't remember the author. See the gentleman holding the Puppies for Sale sign? A store owner was tacking a sign in his store window which read, "Puppies for Sale," when a little boy appeared. "How much are you selling the puppies for?" he asked. The man told the lad he didn't expect to let any of them go for less than $50. That's a lot.
Wow, that is a lot.
The boy reached in his pocket, pulled out some change, looked up at the store owner and said, "I have $2.37. Can I look at them?" The store owner smiled and whistled. From a kennel, a dog named Lady came running down the aisle, followed by 5 tiny balls of fur. One puppy lagged behind. Immediately, the little boy asked about the limping puppy. "What's wrong with the doggie?" "The veterinarian told us the dog is missing a hip socket," said the store owner. "He will always limp like that." "That's the one I want to buy," the lad said quickly. The store owner replied, "No, you don't want to buy that dog. If you really want him, I'll just give him to you." The boy came close to the store owner's face and said angrily, "I don't want you to just give him to me. That doggie is worth just as much as all the other puppies, and I'll pay the full price. In fact, I'll give you $2.37 now and 50 cents a month until I have him paid for." The store owner replied, "No, no, no. You don't want that dog. He's never going to be able to run and jump and play like other dogs." In response, the little boy pulled his pant leg up to reveal a badly twisted right leg supported by 2 steel braces. "Well, sir," he said, "I don't run so well myself, and the puppy will need someone who understands." The end.
Oh, what a wonderful story. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. You know, next week we've learned about mail carriers last week, and this week we've learned about doctors and nurses, and even in our story, a veterinarian. You know, he made reference to a veterinarian who takes care of animals in the way that doctors and nurses take care of people. And next week we're going to be going to a farm. So I wonder what it would be like if animals on the farm caught a cold. I've got a little mitt with me. Let's see if we can sing one last song before we go. Farmer's nose tingles and farmer's nose twitches, and he is going to sneeze. Achoo, 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 achoo. But oh no, he wasn't wearing a mask, so he's giving it to the animals. I wonder what it would sound like if a sheep, we've got a sheep, a pig, a cow, and a chicken. So sheep's nose twitches and sheep's nose tingles, and sheep is going to sneeze. Ba-choo, 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 ba-choo. What about pig? Pig's nose tingles and pig's nose twitches, and pig is going to sneeze. Can you do it? Oink, choo, oink, choo, oink, choo, oink, choo. What about a cow? Cow's nose tingles and cow's nose twitches, and cow is going to sneeze. Moo choo, moo choo, moo choo, moo choo. What about a chicken? Chicken's nose tingles and chicken's nose twitches, and chicken is going to sneeze. Brock choo, brock choo, brock choo, brock choo. Oh my goodness, thank you guys so much for being with us today. You know what? One of the really important things besides wearing a mask is washing your hands. Let me teach you one last song, okay? So it goes like this. It goes, tops and bottoms, in between, rub them both together, now they're clean, squeaky clean. Can you do that with me one more time? So we're going to rub the tops and bottoms, in between, rub them both together, now they're clean, squeaky clean. Oh, thank you so much for being with us this week. Make sure that you join us next week when we go down on the farm. It's time for our hands to give thanks. Oh, before I say that, thank you so much for letting us come and visit with you all today.
Thank you for coming to see me. I enjoyed it.
All right. Well, our hands give thanks with the clap, clap, clap. Our feet give thanks with the tap, tap, tap. Clap, 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 tap, tap, tap. We roll them together and we wave goodbye.